can do anything that we wanna do. Long as you got me, and I know I got you. We a team. No in between.
So Barbara Anderson, thank you for being one of the first wise and wonderful women to come in and talk about wise women doing wonderful things. Let's give us a little background in terms of how I met you.
Yes, thank you, Ann. My nonprofit is called Art on the Ave NYC, and we started on the Upper West Side. While you were doing an incredible job with One Block, I realized that there were just too many vacant stores. So I thought, wouldn't it be great if this were actually an art gallery and people could see something, that could impact their day, possibly change their day, see something beautiful. And that's where the idea sort of started, and we just got to work.
Well, this was in the middle of the pandemic, we have to point out, because we didn't mention that. What was so cool is that these empty stores got filled with artists that were certainly struggling, as so many people in the arts were during that time. So now we're 5 years on. The initial strip was on Columbus in the 70s, right?
Right.
And that would last for how long?
3 months.
Okay.
And initially the idea was simply to take as many stores as we could in a small geographic area so as to create a feeling that something was happening and have a gallery walk feel.
And you also had different celebrities, wasn't there? Michael
Imperioli, yes.
Right.
I heard an interview by Michael Imperioli. He was saying New York was not dead and saying it with a great deal of passion. And I don't know.
And you reached out to him. Like, what? Like, it just like Michael Imperioli.
Yes, I don't even remember how I did it. I think it was on Instagram. And I said, listen, this is what I'm doing. It's on the Upper West Side. I just listened to you speak so passionately about this city and this neighborhood in particular. Would you consider doing an intro for us? I think it would mean a lot to a lot of people. And he was so kind. He did the most beautiful recording. First thing people would hear as they were strolling was Michael Imperioli's voice.
So now, 5 years later, how many neighborhoods have you been in?
We've been in 9 different neighborhoods. We have been from the very tip of Manhattan inward all the way to Lower Manhattan, east and west. Our most recent exhibition is on the Lower East Side in the Two Bridges area, and we've actually activated the entire commercial corridor of a NYCHA complex. NYCHA has agreed to let us keep the spaces, so we are converting one of the spaces into a creative space for the community so they can come and do art workshops.
Oh, amazing.
We're going to have a resident artist.
So for those that don't know what NYCHA is.
NYCHA is the New York City Housing Authority. So they are lower income developments.
So originally, obviously, the landlords were hesitant, and they, in many cases, continued to be for quite a period of time. What's happening now with your track record? Because so many of these stores are getting rented faster, I would imagine, right?
Yeah. I mean, at first, I was very hesitant to say things like that, but I really feel like we have a proven record in that sense right now. We've activated over 98 spaces, including spaces in the subway stations, old food courts, and many, many retail spaces. So the other thing that we do besides the just art in the windows is we now have landlords who are asking us to essentially stage their spaces.
Wow.
So will you come in and will you really activate the space?
And will they give you money towards the nonprofit? I mean, how does that work?
Wonderful question. Some do.
Right.
Because they are realizing the value.
Because you're not getting any government funding for this.
This
is
not
all
getting
nonprofit.
Yeah, we're very fortunate in the sense that we do have backers that are supporting our neighborhood exhibitions.
How do you get the artists?
Many, many artists are now reaching out to us. That was not always the case. And we've done over $400,000 worth of sales that have gone directly to artists, many of whom either had not shown before or who don't necessarily have an opportunity to be in a gallery.
Right. There are many, many people, Barbara, you do realize, that walk by these empty stores. And we're looking at them and saying that's just another empty store. But you looked at them as an opportunity and then took action, which is not like 99.9% of humanity. So have you always been like that?
Yes. I actually...
It's not a new thing.
I am an action person.
But you started as a school teacher, right?
I was a teacher for 30 years, and I probably was known as the one who was going to come in and raise a little ruckus,
Right.
create a little chaos, but carefully executed chaos.
Where does this come from? Was there an innate sense that you could do anything that you put your mind to
I
it?
feel like it was there. I think that there was always an expectation that I could fix something. I'm not a person that really buys into birth order so much, but there is that, first daughter.
Right.
So yes, there is definitely a little bit of that.
Right.
I always felt like I could do more.
What do you want to leave behind in 2025, and what do you want to bring into your life in 2026, other than lots of money for art on the Ave?
Yes, I won't even go into that.
Bring it in, bring it in, bring it in.
That I would say this idea that, again, is very innate. I think that I can always do more, and I feel like sometimes I just really need to rein myself in, and I don't always have to do more. I'm not one of those people who can do things not to the best of her ability.
Yeah.
I can't walk away and say, oh, that's good enough. I never do that.
Right.
But because I'm like that, I feel like I can just say no to more things
That is hard.
than I've done in the past.
Right. Just because you can doesn't mean you have to, right?
Right.
That's a
That's a
learning.
big lesson.
Yeah, it is a big lesson, because I love all that I can do. You're passionate about what you're doing, but you just have to feel, is it good for you? Is it good for your health, your mental health, your family?
Exactly.
Right? So it is okay to say no, even though you can, which is hard because there's not a lot of people that can then step into those shoes, right? Is that...
That's exactly right.
But oftentimes somebody does step into those shoes.
And many people are offering to help. So
Right.
another thing that I feel like I should embrace more in
Right.
2026
Okay,
is
great.
accepting
Okay.
help.
Accepting help.
Accepting help.
Do you need to ask for help?
Often I don't need, people want to help
Okay.
me. I just, again,
Are
going
you
back
too
to...
busy to figure out how someone can help you, so you just do it yourself?
Exactly.
I know. I can.
It is sometimes just faster
Just
to
easier.
just handle it than to spend, because I don't want to be rude when I'm not good at giving orders.
Right, right.
And so I feel like that's going to take me a little bit of time to explain it nicely and to value them and make them feel good about themselves for helping me.
like, fuck it, let's just
but
do
by
it.
the time I'm done with that, I should have just done it already. And often I've done it already. So, but I need to be
Completely
better.
understand.
I really
know,
need to
I
be
know.
better about it.
Well, it's also for the longevity of the program. So we're gonna bring in the ability to accept help, and maybe it's not perfect, but sometimes it's also about good enough. And that good enough gets people like us into trouble. So in 2026, you want to be able to accept more help. And why is that? I mean, are you just feeling burnt out?
I'm definitely not burnt out. I hope to never burn out.
Right.
And I have so much energy for all that I do, but I'm going to be a grandmother in just a few months.
Where's the
My
baby gonna be
daughter
born?
lives in Vancouver, and so I need to be able to leave things in the hands of others, knowing that they will be good enough, because I want to be present for my daughter, her husband, for this new baby.
Exactly. Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so jealous. I feel like I'm going to be stealing babies off the street because I want to be a grandmother so badly. But I'm so glad for you. And you're absolutely right. You have brought so much, and I am so grateful not only for what you've done for the city, but your friendship, because you have always been one of my biggest supporters. And I just think that you're just so awesome, and I loved you instantly. So thank you so much for being part of the maiden voyage of wise women doing wonderful things, because you certainly are. So thank you for being here.
I'm honored to be part of that group of women, and all of the incredible programs that you have brought to us, and I only wish I had a little bit more time to go to more of them, but that's another thing I'm going to work on for
There
2026.
you go. Exactly. I need you in that wise and wonderful woman's chair.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much.